Good morning everybody, hope you're doing really well. Today I'm in the beautiful Kent countryside and it is a beautiful day out today as I top my hair up. The joys of wearing a beanie and having long hair, it just gets everywhere. So today we're just on the cusp of Beaksbourne again. Now if that sounds familiar, if you've been watching the channel, I recently did the anti-tank graveyard, literally a stone's throw away from here. I talked about the history of that and how that I did at some point, as of recording this, was going to visit because there's a few other things in the area. Well, today we've come to look at a ruined chapel that is seemingly in the middle of nowhere, but if you stay with me I'm sure we're going to have a really nice time, so come on, let's go. So, welcome back. That didn't take long, did it? Welcome to the ruin of Well Chapel. Now, this has to be one of Kent's most hidden or forgotten ruins that we have. And I really mean that, even though it seemingly seems like it's, you know, I mean, it's literally opposite Howletts. But it was founded in the 13th century. And it was the chapel of the manor house, which was actually named Well Court at the time. And as you can probably see, built of flint and rubble, and rubble and ragstone. As you can see, that beautiful flint that's shining through there. And there's repairs that were carried out in 1535, but it became ruinous in around 1550. So it didn't really have that much of a long life. And then actually what happened after that was that or during and after, it was used as a cattle shed, lots of different, like a little work store. So it was one of these places that, you know, it had a sort of second purpose afterwards, but not what we'd sort of assume. And it's beautiful, isn't it? It is a chapel. I mean, like, I know it sounds a bit stupid, but it is small. It's tiny, it's cute. You can see it's very similar to the radishes, aren't they? Got distracted in a beer can. I mean, why? Nice to come down here in sort of winter time because you get to see the ruin a little bit clearer probably than if it was summertime and everything was sort of more overgrown. Sorry about my hat. I'm having a major trouble with my beanie today. It's not accepting my beautiful long locks that I have. Oh dear. But yeah, it's beautiful. We're just gonna sort of. It's a mini video for today, as you probably know. I mean, this is it. This is the beautiful ruin. But I mean, it really is hidden. It's, you know, it's one of these ones that I think not many people actually know about. Although, I did check, and that's right, you guessed. Is now officially on Google landmarks. So you type in Well Chapel, Beaksbourne or Kent, and it'll come up and it's easy to find then. And we are on a footpath. Oh, look at this. Walk round, try and get through the top way where we were, but it's just nice to sort of walk around and see it for what it is, really. And Howletts, just pretty much through their finger of doom. See if we can sneak round here without touching the wire. The old sheepies are out today, as you can see. Beautiful area this. I mean, like I said, it's near Canterbury, so go figure, really. And if you haven't watched my channel, I thought we could go through that way. I'll have to start all over again. Yeah, if you haven't watched my channel, you know that obviously Canterbury is my favourite place in Kent, even though it goes against everything in terms of busyness and all that stuff. But yeah, and then we're not actually far from Wingham either, another favourite place of mine. Here we are. Oh, nice. Oh, we can walk round. Brilliant. Look at that. So it was obviously being named Well Chapel, there was a hamlet here called Well, W-E-L. So at one point it would have had a brief congregation, and it would have been semi-active. I mean, again, because we're not far away from Canterbury. In fact, actually, Beaksbourne's interesting, really, because it's sort of, if you carry on, ideally you could go to Sandwich from here. You wouldn't be too far away from the Kent coast. You go anywhere from here, really, but I just picked out Sandwich because when I've driven through this way, I normally into Sandwich. And obviously from Sandwich you can go to Pegwell Bay, and then you can go up or down. You can either go up to Margate, Ramsgate, you go down to Folkestone, Dover. But I'm just giving you just a map guide today via this church. But yeah, like I said, so the history is really interesting in terms of its shortness, but we know why sometimes. You know, and you can imagine that, like I said, this community here, this hamlet, you know, every chapel serves a purpose, I suppose is the right terminology for it. You know, we've seen these ruins before. This cost really is one of the main things, and there's normally two factors. Sometimes it's cost. Obviously, sometimes these places get into disrepair; they can't afford to keep them up, and if that makes sense, the lack of congregation that come here. So obviously, as that starts to fleet or die away, obviously the church can't support itself. You know these types of stories already. I mean, we've seen them in so many of our videos, really. Those are two main scenarios. Not always, though. But they're what we'll call the two main ones. It reminds me of... well, it's sort of, again, this is a really interesting chapel because it sort of feels like it's an amalgam of lots of different ruins that I've seen. It reminds me of the Romney Marsh Church ruins. Let's try and get a little bit further in, without stacking it. There we go. It's that beautiful flint. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, it's an amalgam of, I was thinking like Romney Marsh churches. It reminds me of the ruined ones there, and then there's obviously that one that we know of that isn't actually I'd say isn't too far away, but it's the infamous abandoned one that we've done on the channel. I won't say too more than that, but you'll know if you've seen the channel one. The most haunted ruined church that we have in Kent, that one. But yeah. Look at this though, beautiful. You can see, look, this sort of, I mean, that looks like Roman tiling to me. Roman brick in there as well, but I could be wrong. Very similar to Reculver in that aspect. Again, you know, at one point, this chapel would have aligned with a lot of the sort of religious aspects of the area at the time. You know, there would have been strong faith and community here. Beautiful, really beautiful. So glad I actually eventually came here. And then if you want, oh, the sheep are getting closer. What does this mean? And over there, if I had Finger of Doom, roughly about that direction, I'm trying to work it out, probably about over there, more that way, it would be the anti-tank graveyard. So you technically could do both in one day, which is what I was going to do last time. However, time actually got away with me, really. But, you know, it's the beauty of, like, living in Kent. You can always come back, can't you? Look at the sheep. They've literally just done a full circle lap since we've been talking. I do love nature. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, this sort of ruin just encompasses Kent, really. You've got this beautiful farmland, you've got some beautiful sheep, nice little bit of history, historical ruin, some hills in the distance. Unfortunately, a common occurrence these days, the unfortunate distant sound of a main road, as you can probably imagine. But there you go. That's pretty much it, everybody. The only other one thing that I wanted to probably make light of, I say probably want to make light of as we look at the sheep, although although not related. I don't like, obviously at the beginning of oh, hang on, hold that thought, I didn't see that. Look at that cornerstones. Isn't that spectacular? Well, okay, so what I was going to say was that the stream that I crossed at the beginning of this video was called the Nail Bourne, and it is it's a stream that ends up connecting with the infamous Stour, which is the river that we all probably recognise if we're in Canterbury, for example. Canterbury, would you say that? It's a nice little. I literally spent, just before I was recording, I literally just sat there for, well, not sat there, I just stood there for a while because I love the sound of running water when it comes from a stream. There's something quite therapeutic about it, that sort of ASMR sort of feel. But yeah, that was the Nail Bourne. Oh, and I suppose the other thing I was going to mention was, yes, this is a scheduled ancient monument, or scheduled monument actually, I should say. There you go, beautiful. I'm assuming. It's weird, every time I'm stepping back I'm missing little sections of this and I have to come back in again. I wonder if that was for a wooden beam. Square, rectangular. Saw another one over there, you probably saw that as well when I was filming. Sheep are going everywhere, they're going crazy. Sheep watch. Today on Phoenix History, sheep watch. Well look, I really hope that you enjoyed this beautiful and brief little explore to this ruined church here, Well Chapel. Hopefully I gave you, well I did give you all the history. Were you listening though? Who knows? And I just thought to myself today, let's just go out. Let's head back to what I wanted to tick off. Another ruined church for Kent. And just to get out in the countryside really. I'm going to go for a nice little walk after this. It's only a little one for today. Just to get some fresh air and stop myself from chewing my hair. God, it's been a disaster today. Where's a makeup artist when you need one? Anyway, thank you so much for coming along with me. I really hope you enjoyed this brief little video. Please, if you're in the area, come down. But what I would do is park at Beaksbourne proper and try and head down this way. Because there is a footpath, like you saw. So I'll do that and then make a day of it. Find a pub at the end, if you can. That's a debate for another day. If you can find a pub, anybody. And what I mean by that is a traditional pub. Oh dear. There we go though, look at that. Stunning. The sun has desperately been trying to come through the clouds today. If you can see, there's this beautiful blue sky that is through that. And when I was driving through today, you saw hints of that. And it's so nice when that sun does break through. But there we go. Well Chapel. Stunning. Look, any more words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with me. Hopefully you really enjoyed this one. Much love to all of you out there. Thank you so much, again, from a personal note, for supporting this channel, for spreading the word of the channel. Stay tuned for some more interesting and unique videos. This is actually one of the reasons why I came down here again, was because, like, as you know, if you're familiar with my channel, I do try to sort of get the stuff that not many people normally go for. And I thought this is a prime candidate to go for it. I think if you know my channel by now, if something's popular, I'm probably going to avoid it and aim for something a little bit more unusual. Although we've seen many church ruins, they're still pretty special, aren't they? Anyway, much love to all of you out there. Any more words of Phoenix history, because history matters. Doesn't it just? And I'll see you all very soon. Remember to spread the word of the channel if you'd like to. That'd be great. Like it. That would be even better. And yeah, kindness to all of you out there. Thank you for your love, your support, and everything else. Like I said, it really goes a long way. If it wasn't for you lot out there, I wouldn't be motivated to do as much as I do on this channel. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Look after yourselves, everybody. Come on, you know the drill by now. Kapow! One final thing before I go, before I leave you, I was just literally looking around again. It seems to hide a lot of secrets. Can you see this mini little arch here? Look. Almost for some sort of shrine, maybe. Isn't that incredible? Look at that. There's something else I noticed as well as I was walking around. Oh, more masonry as well. Look at that. Wow, stone, beautiful, isn't it? Sorry everybody, I was literally walking around. I thought I'd just end the video before I do. And there's one of our posts up there that you saw as well. Right, let's go.